Hello, guys. Today is Thursday, and today we're going to talk about this topic about investment sector that has been impacted. And I promised to share with you guys about this uh, big revolution this week, and it's actually about Apple. And what happens is, you guys probably know the news that Apple has decided to change their SoC, their chipset, their architecture from Intel to Arm. Is it Arm or is it their own processors? But basically, something else other than Intel. And think about it, why would they want to do that? Isn't it a bit strange working with Apple, Intel for so long, and CPU, that core processing unit is one of the most important parts of your computer, and probably you want it to be fast. But why? Why would they want to uh, make such a big change? I think there are some certain key points to it, but the most important one, which I think a lot of people do not notice, especially if they're investing in Intel, is that somehow or another they fail to understand that the usage of devices has changed drastically for the past, I think, 10 years. We have been focusing a lot on mobile and for all these lightweight ultrabooks, for example. And what that means is that we no longer want to have very, our focus is not really powerful devices, but instead it's more about actually it's about battery life, isn't it? We want it to have longer battery life. How to make it longer? One of it is, of course, you want it to have a very powerful battery. That one is obvious. So I think maybe Elon Musk is focusing on that. But uh, the other part is actually to reduce the power consumption of other devices, other components of the computer. And everything is being shrink down except the processor itself. So you have improved Bluetooth components, and even the reception and Wi-Fi and so on and so forth. Things are getting smaller. Even the SIM is also getting smaller for phones. For computer-wise, things are getting lighter and so on and so forth. But the processor itself, not yet. And I believe this is what has made it a drastic change for Apple to actually change the entire thing altogether. And this, it's a very big step, because usually when Apple decides to change something with and pulling its entire ecosystem along, uh, usually the rest of the computer industry will follow sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. Anyway, Apple uses a very pretty outdated kind of maybe I will offend Apple fans, but Apple uses pretty outdated kind of architecture, in a sense where, for example, using Android or using Windows processors, normally their processors, their chipsets, we want to push it all the way to the extreme. We want to move it fast so that it can last for many years, right? The way Apple does it is because they have a pretty cool OS. I have to admit, the pretty cool OS. So the controls inside the OS has made it. Furthermore, they are using Unix. It may be a little bit of technical jargon here, but furthermore, what it means is that this use of their OS has enabled them to charge expensive while keeping their hardware cost low, and that's how they make money, right? But with this moving of the entire revolution of computers, what's going to happen now is, as you can see, a lot of things are moving to the cloud, right? And when things are moving to the cloud, we actually no longer need to have very powerful computers. What we do need, though, is to have a lightweight, long-lasting battery life device that we can carry around all day. And we probably want to have some kind of fast charging, right? So if we have something like this, which mobile devices are already taking the lead, what's waiting for all these laptops and so on and so forth to actually come on board using this kind of concept. I think it's a sooner or later thing, which Apple has already decided to take the lead. Now, if Apple has moved on, and I said the rest will follow, what do you think for all the other uh, service providers or companies that actually produces or assist companies like Intel to make their chipsets? What do you think will happen to them? I think the business will start to suffer in the next few years. It might not be obvious now, but it will not even be in the next few quarters, but in the next few years when this thing becomes firm. You see a lot of companies in Penang. They're actually probably serving Intel and you know the whole ecosystem. Penang, the entire Penang. It's Intel is one of the hub. Penang is one of the hub for Intel, and that's a big problem. So if I'm the Penang, you know, chief minister and something like that, I think I will really take note of this and find ways to mitigate. And you can actually look at it. What happens is Taiwan. Taiwan, what they do? Taiwan with their, I think TSMC. Wow, their share price has been spiking up. It could be a lot of reasons, but I believe one of it is this. So Taiwan has always been in the leader in all this technology stuff, in even with the NVIDIA and all these graphics or even chipsets. For some reason or another, they are very good at this. They are almost their entire exchange. It's pretty much about this type of companies. So I find it really cool, but that's where you need to look into how this whole entire ecosystem will change. So one best takeaway I can tell you is number one, I think devices will get lighter and longer lasting battery. So that's the focus. And then secondly, things are moving to the cloud. So those super processors, yes, they will still exist. For example, like Intel, you know, high power consumption and very high speed processing. They will uh, they will still exist because we need them in the servers and clouds, but they will probably not be so much required in our portable devices moving forward. So I hope that's interesting sharing for you. Maybe you learned something. If you don't, if you do, just let me know in the comments below. Catch you up next week. Bye bye.